Okay, now I've stopped down on 4 right, 3 down, sort of what I was doing in WA sort of thing. As you get the brighter light, you go 5-4 or 6-5. It's always one less than whatever I go right in the colour grid sort of thing, on cute dessert sort of thing. Oh, now the sun's gone in. Oh well, it's a double check, I suppose. Oh yeah, I've got another Medicago in there. It could also be because whether we're using spot colour or not, I don't know. We better check the colour. Okay. Yeah, so that's a blue sort of thing, and this is supposed to be a purple, but if it's coming out blue on the screen, yeah, I think it's actually this. The technology to give this lovely Posca purple means that the eye sees it in this wonderful colour, but it's not actually that in quotes reality. So there's a difference between reality and perception. So let's go back to this one. Okay, and will the sun come out? So we'll check the colour and everything else there. Of course, having the level shot on, maybe that was causing problems. I know it's a bit jerky, so I think that was the problem. Anyway, I do like the oh, the sun's coming out now, that's good. Oh, get the box off. I do like the greyness. If it could be a little bit darker, that would be nice. If I could have a combination between a charcoal grey and a nice nut brown, so it's a bit of both sort of thing. Can you beige? Is it a Lindy beige? Is it what we call that colour? Lindy beige. You know, it's half charcoal grey and a nice nut brown. That's Lindy beige. It's a joke. It's a online YouTube joke. Okay, if you're wondering, anyway, just type in Lindy beige into YouTube. You'll find out. So anyway, so I thought I'd do that. So oh, that's about it. I think I can't think. Yeah, I've talked about the water difference. Oh yes, the other thing I was going to talk about is years back when we're doing all this salt index sort of thing, you know, between I suppose I've got to give you something to look at, I suppose, while I'm talking, otherwise it'd be boring. Is we found that with the potassium amended salt index, we had things like Capensis was half the level of at basically 1/3 seawater, or 11 grams to the litre sort of thing, and fly traps were 22 grams a litre, or 2/3 seawater, and cephalatus was between 2/3 seawater and seawater. Sericine were around about seawater level, 33 to 35 grams to the litre on average of different oceans and things like that. But we found that HELIAMPHORA, particular HELIAMPHORA heterodoxa, I think it was, could handle like up to 1 1/3 seawater. So it implied that HELIAMPHORA, or at least heterodoxa, and one other, I think, was it Newtons or something like that? I can't remember now. One other, I had 2 species to play around with, could handle more than Sericina. So they could handle potassium amended salt concentration, or salt index, higher than Sericina, because Sericina are known to be inundated by seawater, of course, by the open oceans or anything. So they can withstand seawater strength for a while, sort of thing. And if you dilute seawater down to about 1/12, CP can basically handle it, sort of thing. So there's a connection there. But we couldn't work out why this is. Well, because, HELIAMPHORA comes from these tapuis, and they're sort of, inundated almost every day of the year by heavy rain sort of thing, and they're growing these mats and pools of water and things like that. And we thought, that's crazy. Why would you have a salt index that high when you're growing on the top of a mountain that's being rained on by rainwater? And of course the penny drops now with the Mexican pinguiculas, because you can't find too many photographs online of Mexican pinguiculas growing in pools of water, things like that, whereas the North Americans and the Europeans you can. And also there's this connection to the Oostings and Roberts paper, where they go out to this place where they've got a place where they have known fly traps that have been known to be growing underwater for more than 10 years, more than a decade, been known to be totally submerged. And of course the connection between all this is Mexican pinwicklers do like it and actually respond to a bit of calcium, where all these other ones are almost abhor or totally intolerant of calcium. So if this connection is true, if the salt index on Heliamphora is higher than Sarracenia, that means they might be the least tolerant of chalk or calcium. So, you know, in other words, so the higher you are up the salt index, it may be that you're the most intolerant of calcium in the system, sort of thing, or chalk in the system. Just that might actually be the case, or the connection there. So you want to, I would suggest you want to avoid Heliamphora and calcium even more so than with Sarracenia, I would say. So. Though we did find you could put chalk sticks down the bottom of your pots, and it didn't seem to affect them, right down the bottom of a bucket. So anyway, so we'll see how this system works with the boxes, and if it works, I think we'll have the answer. But there certainly is a water difference there, and Whitewood seems to be telling